Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance. Now, I am a big fan of, the adult animations. I grew up on The Simpsons, so obviously when things like South Park came out, Beavis and Butthead, big fans, right? And a lot of those things had games, but a lot of times the games were like, not great, not bad. But there started to be a trend around like Simpsons Road Rage where games that were based on these, different types of adult themed cartoons were starting to be really, really good, right? And then there was a South Park game, which they had other South Park games, and they weren't bad, but they weren't great. And then they made the Stick of Truth. Now, obviously, this game is just a South Park themed Lord of the Rings episode, right? Which they did. They did a few of them. But this game is like really, really good. One, it's a solid, just RPG. Not a super difficult one, not a super easy one, but a lot of stuff in it, a lot of depth to the gameplay, a lot of different combinations of things you can do, create a character, classes, stuff like that. Then on top of that, if you are a fan of the show, it is like you are in a very long episode of the show, like a very good episode, if I'm not being clear. And you play the new kid and you meet up with all the people from the show and you go on this adventure, because if you've watched the show or any shows like it, things always go to 10 in a matter of moments because nobody in the town can act right for the most part, right? Kids, adults, and all. And you see this whole storyline unfold like in this game. And I don't want to spoil a lot of the game as far as what happens in it, just because if you're a fan of the show, and you haven't played this game, I'm telling you, you are missing like one of the best. I guess it would be closer to the movies because of how long it is, but like this is one of the best storylines they've done. Like these, and there's another game as well, which we'll definitely do an episode on. But this one is Lord of the Rings themed, right? So everything is based on wizards and knights and casting spells and things like that. They have an active battle system in the sense of like you can block things, you can reduce damage, and it's very seamless and it's very, very fluid, and everything just sort of flows, and the dialogue doesn't get stale. Like, again, this is South Park, right? It's all about these different lines and different situations and scenes, and this game is just full of those. Not to spoil too much, but there's a part where a guy's asking questions about a Taco Bell and they don't have an answer for him, so they tell him to take him out. And all of a sudden, a sniper shot goes through the dude's head because this game is very graphic, and he's just slumped over, and his lady's just looking at him like, Mark, are you okay? Like, just a lot of dark humor. But again, if you're a fan of this series, you're definitely going to enjoy this. There's not like a huge difficulty level in this game, but you can go into places where you shouldn't be and you can sweat it out. And if you pull it off, you get pretty strong and you can get a lot of items ahead of time. There's a lot of callbacks to the series. There are Chinpokomon, there's Lemmy Winks. There's just a lot of inside jokes. So again, this is all about, if you are a fan of the series, it's a great game. If you're not a fan of the series, but you're looking for something a little different, I still say this is a great game. Just this overall package. Again, not suitable for all ages. Like this is clearly a mature game from the moment you start it up. If you don't realize, there's gonna be a lot of F-bombs thrown about. It's just what it is. But again, writing is still great. Not so much topical, but more so, based on the series, so the jokes make sense. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan, I'm not sure what to think because I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, so I have nothing to say on that part. But it is Lord of the Rings themed. You can clearly see it from the moment you start watching it. So there may be some references to the actual series that I have no idea because I've never watched them and don't intend to. Not to say Lord of the Rings is bad, I'm just saying that I have no reference. But the way like you initiate combat, you go up to people, you hit them, which can lead to things being in your favor. If you play like me and you play mages, then you got a lot of damage, but not a lot of health. But if you play, the warrior class, then you'll have a lot of health, and you probably still have damage because that's usually how it works when you play mages. You get, the negative side effects and none of the benefits other than the damage. But anywho, you can go through this game, customize your character. You know, I just threw something together for this video. I don't even remember what my first character looked like, but I was just, you know, doing something to show you. And as you go through the game, you collect different visual changes that you can put on your character at any time. So you don't have to go and find a magical person to change your face if you don't want to. You can just literally just find a wig, and that's your new hairstyle. Or, you know, you find a mustache, and now you got a mustache. But the game gives you a lot of customization options, and your visual character appears through all the cutscenes. So that's really cool too. So it's like you really are in this game. It's not just one of those, you know, whatever you put on, they're going to be a generic version of you when they go to the cutscenes. Like, no, this is the person that you make. As weird as you would like the character to look, or as odd or stand out, they will be like that in all the cutscenes. So I thought that was really, really cool. I love when the games blend like the real graphics in with like the CG graphics of the cutscenes and stuff like that. And this game does a great job. It's like watching an episode of the show. It's very fluid. The animations are very crisp and clean. And it's also just a really funny game. So I really enjoyed it. If you played this game, you probably enjoyed it. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And if not, and like I said, if there's something that you might be interested in, I definitely recommend it. As always, I appreciate you taking our time to reminisce with me. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.